Good morning, Florida Panther fans. Welcome to two grumpy old men in the morning who no promises of how this one's gonna go today. I had it was a long night for me because about 10 minutes into the third period, I decided to start yelling 50 push-ups for a goal. Now I can't do 50 push-ups, but I can do 30, and I knocked it out both times, although the second time, just make sure you catch the highlight video later. It was rough. I'm feeling it this morning because I also have to lift when we give up goals. So yeah. Good morning, Stu. How you doing?
Oh boy, how do I answer that? Uh,
Just keep in mind that I said we'd be 11-6-3 after 20 games, and we are directly, perfectly to the penny on pace for that. So I'm not going to freak out because it would be stupid if I freaked out over my exact prediction looking like it might come true. That's all. I can't freak out if I'm going to be close to right.
well, I guess we would do to have a stinker. And boy,
That
that
was
was one ugly, smelly turd.
yeah,
Um,
that is the way to put it.
I mean, boy,
Yeah,
where do I start?
I don't know.
Where do I start? Oh,
I
I know where
guess
I'll start.
where we starting?
How about the worst power play in the league? I mean, the game was basically over. I mean, there were blatant trips and whatnot, but when have you ever seen the refs like just, I mean,
I think it was six.
five power plays, a 5-on-3 in the
Yeah,
span of whatever minutes,
yeah. No, it
and
was
just no cohesion, just nobody's shooting because they're passing because everybody's afraid to shoot. Reinhardt misses again. I mean,
I know.
blow it up. Two for 33. Did you
Dude,
hear
I
that,
think
guys?
you and I could
Two
do
for
better than
33.
that.
Bruno. Oh, let me
No, let's not even go there. Oh no, here we
no,
go.
I gotta show the troops this. So Eric sent me this at 11 o'clock at night. See what it says? We
I
fired Bruno, blah, 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 for the
because of the
power
power
play.
play.
Okay. So Paul Maurice, if you're listening here,
Wow.
Tito
Yeah.
traded Huberto and Uyghur. Don't think that he couldn't fire you 10 games into the season. You better fix
Well,
this thing. But I
hey,
tell you,
look, Gerard Gallant got fired for a hell of a lot less. Let's put it that way.
yeah,
Okay. I mean,
11 games. It's really, uncanny how you and I are just like so in tune with what we see and what we think would be a solution. Because the two of us have been saying, get Heponiemi up here,
right,
put him with Barkov. Reinhardt Barkov's not working. It didn't work last year. I mean, I
right.
don't understand. This is a veteran coach who is stubborn as fuck. I mean, if he doesn't, if he doesn't see what's going on here and make some changes,
Right.
I mean, that's a simple solution. And you said bring him up for 6 games.
Yeah, just
We got
change
this.
the
We got
oil,
this. Yeah, just. I'm not saying sit Reinhardt.
Right.
I put Reinhardt back with Lundell. That's where
Back
he
with Lundell.
thrived. And now
Right.
we got Lusterine, and as far as I'm concerned, he might not have the physicality of Marchment, but for all
Right.
intents and purposes, he's replaced Marchment pretty
Yeah.
good.
He's gonna
And
replace him certainly.
I was actually going to predict on the stream before the game started that I thought Lusterine was going to score last night.
Yeah.
This kid is, he's gaining more and more confidence now that he's, playing and
Yeah.
not stuck on the fourth line, getting 5 minutes a night. Anyway,
Right.
so
Right.
so that's what I would do. For Hagee, what I tell you, he coughed up that puck 4 or 5 times during that, that stretch in that power play.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Verhaeghe's not the answer on the power play.
No. I'm just pointing out on the power
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
But
I mean, look.
Heponiemi, and again, let the two Finns. That's why I wanted Lundell, that
Right,
experiment with Lundell on Let Barkov play with another Finn. And this kid's from Tampere, his hometown,
right,
and
right.
see
Look,
what happens. That's all.
that's it. Yeah.
Experiment.
Nobody,
Something, Maurice.
none of us are saying Heponiemi is the next first top line guy and he's going to be outstanding. But just at this point, what can it hurt? All right. They did look good in the preseason together. What could it hurt? We have the cap
What
space
if?
while Ekblad's hurt. Throw him up there just to change the energy because the energy is bad out there. I mean, and it's just sometimes you just need a change. And that to me would be the move to make because it would force the other part to that. And I kind of remember saying this something last year, the year before about when Barkov and Huberto would be on the ice together and why I like Duclair up there. You put a guy with on that right wing with speed and it forces Barkov not to coast. Now I love Barkov as a player, but he does a lot of coasting with the puck into the offensive zone, looking to make something happen. You can't do that with a player like Duke or Heponiemi because he's got to skate his ass off to keep up with those guys because they're going a million miles an hour. And that's what I'll say about that part.
Yeah. Barkov's lost out there. I mean,
I brought something up on the stream.
He had a chance.
Stu, I want to bring up because this is your point, so I want you to talk on this. I brought this up on the stream and I said Stu did say, oh, maybe it was the Boston game. You did ponder if simply Barkov is just kind of, I don't want to say emotionally damaged, but if he's really missing Huberto that much, just on the team.
Yeah, I mean, it's apparent to me that he's not playing with any gusto, enthusiasm. I mean, he's always been the quiet type, not demonstrative player, but it just seems to me he's going through the motions. I mean, he has a chance to tie the game up. They showed
the replay. Did you see the replay?
Yeah.
Yes, Stalock made a hell of a toe save. He didn't miss the net. I thought he missed the net, but then they showed it later, and Stalock made a hell of a toe save. So I want to make sure.
I don't know if it was a toe. All I know is
they showed Goldie and Randy went back on purpose and showed it in slow motion, and the dude made a toe save.
All right.
So I just want to be fair because somebody in the comments will get to us on that. You know what I mean?
Situations like that, he buries that.
Right. No,
there's definitely something off with that kid. And I knew that the Huberto trade was going to have an effect on him. And listen, these kids are human beings. When your best friend, is taken away from you, and he's probably asked himself 1,000 times why. But hey,
look, and for anybody who says it shouldn't be that way or isn't that way, go back and watch the interview that Stu and I did with Billy Lindsay towards the end, where I asked him about the 96 team and the Stu Barnes trade. And Billy got emotional about it and said, yeah, that gutted the locker room. And that a lot of the guys kind of felt like that stole the chance that they had to get back to the cup. It was the season after we made it to the cup. So we're not talking, we're putting a couple things together. Look, it might not be that. And at some point you do have to say, hey, look, he's the captain. He's got to buy in and raise his level of play. I think part of it is he has looked a little bit better since that injury. He did come out with a little bit more fire after that. Yesterday, I think it's just really wearing on him and Reinhardt, especially, just the complete inability to score goals. And when guys get in slumps, it can, affect the rest of their play. Which is why I agree with Stu. I mean, make a change, bring in Heponiemi just to change the energy up there and see what happens. You don't know. And if the kid works out, then good. That gives us another player in our arsenal. You know what I mean? it can't help but change the juju somehow, you know. And the only thing about it, like last night, he did make a switch, and I gave him credit for making a switch, though it wasn't really the switch I would have really preferred, because he blew up the second line, which didn't really need to be blown up, and he put Bennett up top. Not much happened there. And then when he put Barkov with Kachuk, Kachuk got the goal. So I wonder if we'll see that tomorrow night. I wonder if we'll see Barkov with Kachuk and Verhage. Um, I'm not necessarily, I'm not overly against that. Whatever gets things moving. The other thing, excuse me, guys. The other thing, um, and hey, look, I might take a slap upside the head for this, but Anton Lundell's playing his ass off. And eventually that dude, you're gonna not be able to keep him out of the top six. And I'm not saying move Barkov to 3C, but I mean, Barkov, Bennett, Lundell, of the three, Lundell's playing his ass off. That's what I'm going to say. These last couple games, he's playing his ass off. At some point, maybe throw Lundell into the mix somewhere in the top six, and see how that works. Do?
No, listen, the last couple of games, I think the third line's been our top line. The way they're playing.
Yeah.
I still like to see Reinhart instead of White. I just think the chemistry between Lundell and Reinhart is there. It's not there with Barkov. So just switch right wings, move White up to the front line and see with Barkov and see what happens. But you got to get these two guys going. I mean, they're both 30+ goal scorers. You can't have, game 7 or whatever, and Barkov and Reinhart 0.
Right.
So,
look, Barkov, Reinhart, Bennett, between the three of them is one goal. I mean, in 7 games, there's got to be
Bennett's not been
changes.
playing bad.
No, I agree there.
I'm telling you, there's something off with Barkov.
Right.
Just something off with him. It's like his heart isn't into it.
Right.
That's just the feeling that I get from observing.
Right, I get it.
So let's get off that subject. Let's talk about Mark Stoll again, not causing, but again, guy goes around him real easy. He's out of position on the Kane goal. Now on the Kane goal, you got to give Kane credit because he hit that box.
Right.
The corner little 6-inch square box, perfect shot. So can't stop that. The third goal, I mean, poor Forsling got, blasted with that. And he was
barely standing.
He was one of those orange cones that they put in the parking lot.
Exactly.
So, all right, 3-0. I think Bob should have probably had the first goal, but we're used to him letting a goal in 2-3 minutes into the game. Just looked like he didn't cut the angle off enough. But
last year we win that game 7-3.
And that's something that you texted me and I agreed with. Yeah, we wouldn't have given a shit about them putting up 3 goals.
The 3-0 we were right.
But we don't have that offense anymore.
Right.
That mentality that that run and gun thing. But I was waiting for the light, for the light switch to be turned on to see the comeback Cats start their thing. And of course, we got a couple of quick goals there, and I really thought we were going to tie it.
Yeah.
And like I said, Barkov had it on his stick, man. He goes top shelf.
Yeah.
Instead of, whatever. So listen. And then of course on the empty net on Tay's goal, I mean, Reinhart, I don't know if he was gassed, but he looked like Aaron Ekblad out there.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume he was gassed because he was out there. Remember, we had just had that power play after we scored the second goal. We had another power play because of the glove violation and the face-off. And he'd been throwing Reinhardt out there just forever.
Yeah, that's it.
It was weird because he kept even with the guy to the boards, and then I remember if he fell
or he turned the wrong way.
Yeah, it was odd.
Yeah.
it was really strange.
But Maurice
Um,
is burning guys out, man, in the latter
yes,
parts of the game. And that's an
yeah,
old, that's just a veteran coach's mistake. I
right,
mean, no matter what happened in the game, I'll give Bruno credit for rolling the four lines
right.
and having confidence in the third and fourth line. And a lot of times, the fourth line came through or the third line came
Yeah,
through.
yeah, yeah,
But listen, we were due to have a clunker.
right.
The Tampa game shouldn't have been lost. I thought the only other game maybe we didn't play up to was the Boston game.
It was the Boston game. Yeah,
Other
yeah,
than that, we've played good. So we were due.
yeah.
All
And look,
right. Well,
we're
what are you going to do?
we're still in second place, and only team with more points in the East is Boston. So I mean, it's not like there's any concerns there. I want to talk about the power play because a couple of people on the recap. I guess I
Before
didn't
you
talk
do,
about the power play enough. So I just don't want to leave that out because
no. Before you
I
do, I just want to say, look, guys, I'm not panicking. Eric's not
right.
panicking. You got it. You know what? It's a long season. I just don't want to do what we did last year, and that's we peak too soon. I want
Right,
to peak going into the playoffs.
right,
We had 12-game winning streaks
right.
pretty much
And look,
early in the season. We had built up a nice lead.
yeah,
And if anything, Tampa's proven that you don't have to win first place in the division in the President's Cup to win the Stanley Cup. So,
exactly.
I
Right.
just want, I want us to be going into the playoffs this year in fifth gear and,
Right,
and running at high RPMs. Okay, so
right.
let's address the
So
power play.
yeah, so the first thing with the power play is we have to be honest about there's no way to deny it. We're missing Ekblad and we're missing Duclair. Okay. Because those are the two guys that really should be in the circles setting up for one timers. So let's just start there. We're missing that. Um he finally on that 5-on-3, I believe it was the 5-on-3 or it was the 4 minutes. He finally put the second unit out there first, which wasn't a great improvement. Now, I have to give Chicago credit because they were attacking the puck carrier as soon, even on the power play, as soon as the puck got on our stick, they had a guy on us. They were not giving us time and space to set up. And with the lack of confidence that these guys have right now, it's just a recipe for disaster. I'll let you give your thoughts and what you think your answers would be first, though.
Well, I think we're too slow, too indecisive, not enough shots. I mean, that 4-minute power play, but more importantly, the 5-on-3,
Mhm.
these guys are passing it and nobody's taking a shot.
Yeah.
On a 5-on-3,
Yeah,
you
we had two
obviously have
shots.
you obviously have less people in front of your goalie. You
Right.
got two extra guys, so they play the pyramid, the triangle. You should have somebody in front like Kachuk, and you just amongst the other four guys, and you just keep blasting,
Right.
just keep shooting,
Yeah.
and hopefully you get a rebound, hopefully you get a tip in,
Yeah.
but if you don't shoot, you don't score,
Right.
and that's the power play in a nutshell. And the
Yep.
reason being is, like you said, there's like no confidence whatsoever.
Right.
And it's like the puck's a hot potato. Like, they can't
Yeah.
wait to get it off their stick to somebody else and let somebody else, be the hero.
Right. Well,
So,
I saw that he put Reinhardt in that left circle, and I just wanted to throw the freaking entire live stream setup back to
but
TV.
that's the
I
move,
mean,
Eric. That's the move. That's what I said last video. You move a guy like Reinhardt, a righty shot that has a good shot. He's just struggling right now. He's in a slump. He's in a batting
well,
slump.
and that's why I disagree.
And that would
If
be a
he's
perfect way to get out of it. Score a couple of one-timers.
uh,
He's just not making the shot. He's shooting high,
right,
going for those top corners, and he's missing. If you take a look at all the games and all the shots that he's missed them high over the net.
So put Luosterainen out there because he's burying the puck. But I'm just saying,
Lefty. He's a lefty.
right?
You want Stamkos, Ovechkin, Ekblad. You want a
So
right-handed
who do we?
shot, and you just feed the puck into the sweet zone
That's right.
for the one-timer. Don't forget, a right-handed shot has more of an angle than a left-handed shot.
Like I said, we're missing Ekblad and Duclair.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, you can make the point like Luostarino takes the place of Huberdeau,
right.
and you shoot. But yeah, Luostarino's a hot hand right now. But I'm telling you, this coach is really stubborn, and it's like everybody else is wrong and I'm right, and eventually they'll work itself out. Well, right now it's not working itself out. And if these guys continue to go 0 for 6, 0 for 5,
you can't win.
2 for 33 is, I when I watched the NHL Network, I think we were 29th in the league.
Somebody's worse.
I guarantee you, after last night, we're the worst power play in the league. And we've always had a pretty good power play. Yeah, we're missing Ekblad.
Right.
Definitely, we're missing Duclair.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Other than Stahl, the defense has been pretty good.
Right. Now look, Stahl was fine.
I mean that in the context of would Uyghur make a difference? So personally, maybe his offensive ability in moving the puck, but anyway, we've made our suggestions as possible answers. I really think that it's worth bringing Heppo up to try him with Barkov just to give him a spark, because I don't think, this is something where I'm going to ask all you guys to please comment on what you think is going on with Barkov.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. Are you seeing what I'm seeing now?
Right. Yeah. No, it's 7 games that's a bit much. Some people were saying it's only 3, it's only 4, but now we're at 7. And
it's been every game.
Right.
Been every game, bro.
Right. No, I'm just saying when we were saying he wasn't scoring, people were saying, well, it's only been 3 games, and then it was only 4, and now it's 7. And at this
I'm not talking about just scoring.
Right. Right.
I'm just talking about how he's playing.
Right.
If there was one interview that before the season started, after the trade was made, and he looked crushed. He looked like his girlfriend left him.
Right. Look, second period last night, second period, Barkov, Reinhart coming down 2-on-1. Barkov slows down and back passes to Radko Gudas.
And Barkov's a smart player.
I don't know what you're doing.
He looks slow. He looks disengaged.
Right.
And I don't know what's going to pull him out of it.
And that's the thing. Right.
Kachuk gets another goal. That's basically that's our scoring.
Yeah.
And Lundell and
Kachuk in the third line.
Yeah, Luostarinen and Luostarinen are just that combo. That's why I'm telling you the answer is putting Lundell with Reinhart and Luostarinen, and watch that trio go.
Honestly, I would consider Lundell, Luostarinen, and Reinhart. I don't want to say I would consider it our top line. There's a lot of different combinations that you could make. That would be.
Put Balsers up on the top line. If you're not going to bring Heppo up, then put Balsers up on the top and put White on the second.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So let me get to, because somebody in the stream before the game was asking about, like, why did we sign Nick Cousins? So Nick Cousins has been like a ghost to me. Right. He's done nothing.
Right.
He's done nothing.
Right.
And that's it. That's really all I got.
Right.
It's just, it's really aggravating watching, a couple of periods of hockey. We were really the first period where,
That was bad. It
and
was,
we're playing,
you
and
saw
we're
it
playing,
a minute
and
in.
we're playing Chicago.
Right. Right. Yeah. No, I know.
So
We look, we'll come out Thursday. We got Philly for whatever reason. I thought the game was in Florida, but I thought the game was at 8 o'clock last night as well. So I must be I must be doing too much because I keep
pregame,
making mental
just
mistakes.
know Chicago. Oh, the games against Chicago always start at 8:30. They've always started
Somebody else though in the stream said that they had looked before and it had said 8 o'clock as well. So
because
it
of the
was
pregame, because they do a half-hour pregame show.
right. Yeah, yeah, I guess so. So anyway, we had a good time. It was a 90-minute pregame. So it maybe that contributed to so many people coming on, which I want to say thank you to everybody who's been coming on the streams. Um, Absolutely stoked, man. We had by the end of the stream last night, we had 70 people in the room, which is really good for a middle of the week hockey game. Yeah, I was really happy with that. Um, Look, like you said, not going to panic. And even with Mark Stahl, he'd been solid the couple of games, and it wasn't like he made any more mistakes last night. It was the two mistakes he got blown by, which is going to happen. And then the second goal that Stahl was involved in, I don't know if there was a forward that was supposed to come in and cover the net. I don't know what it was because he followed the puck carrier behind the net, and then when the puck came back out, he was the one trying to get back in front of the net, and nobody else on the team went and did anything. It's like everybody was just like standing there watching him go back and forth. So
Yep.
I'm not sure if that is again where we're seeing the forwards not coming back and covering for the defense, because we've seen that a lot.
Yep.
And they're not used to it. We know Maurice's system is where the forwards have to come back and cover. And we've seen a bunch of goals where it kind of looks to me like it looks like somebody else should have been there,
Yep.
you know.
Yep.
So I don't know if I necessarily want to 100% blame him for that, because it didn't look right. It looked like somebody else should have been helping out. So
You leave Patrick Kane in a position like that.
yeah.
He's going to hit that. I mean, I wonder how many tens of thousands of shots in practice a guy like him takes to hit that 6-inch square box in the corners.
Yeah.
It's like, in the skills competition, they have those styrofoam targets.
Yeah.
They have them up in the top corners for a reason.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, look,
perfect shot.
we'll
All right, what are you
see.
gonna do?
Yep. Well, I mean, look, at least Maurice did show the willingness to make some changes last night. I mean, what are you going to do? You only got 12 guys on the ice. So, he flipped it around, and then he actually changed it again. He made the first change that didn't work, and then he changed it again, putting Barkov with Kachuk, and that actually did work. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's his play. I would like to see Heponiemi come up, but I have a feeling Maurice is going to go with Kachuk, with Barkov,
Balsers?
which would no, it was it was it
Yeah,
was a
that's
lot
what.
of different.
No, he just swapped out Bennett. I mean, he put Kachuk and Balsers with Barkov.
Is that what he did the second? Okay,
Yes.
so yeah, that's right. He moved him down and then he moved Bennett up. That's right. Um, I'm not a fan of that being the first line though, with Bennett, Reinhardt, and Verhage.
Why not?
That doesn't ring.
Why
I
not?
don't. Well,
Verhage and Barkov ain't doing shit either. Sorry. I mean, I know
yeah,
Verhage got a couple of goals the other night. Okay, whatever. But I'm telling you, you got to do something drastic. That's drastic.
right. Yeah, well, I get what you're saying.
Here's what I'm worried about. And obviously, I hope it don't happen. We'll see in the first 5-10 minutes of tomorrow's game
Right.
what's going on.
Yeah.
Because if these guys, I mean, they were asleep for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
They were just, I love it when they come out from the opening whistle ready to play. And we've seen a
Right.
number. We've seen a few of those games this year. That's how they have to come out. You can't, we're not going to get our 5 and 6 and 7 goal games, guys. We're going to be 2-1s, 3-2s, 4. We're going to be, squeaking them out. That's the system. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with the playoff style hockey.
Right.
But the energy's got to be there.
Right.
You gotta, from the opening whistles, you gotta, put some effort.
We allowed a goal like what, a couple minutes in, and then we allowed a goal with 22 seconds left in the first. I mean,
3 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
And you know what? As soon as, and that's Kachuk's fault. And Randy pointed it out on the broadcast that Kachuk was too far, inside, and whoever passed it to Radich made a perfect pass, and he just skated down. Now I thought it was a wide angle for a right-handed shot, but obviously, and I said again and again, Bob didn't come out enough and cut the angle off, and he just, I mean, these guys are shooting 90, 100 miles an hour, or whatever, 90 mile an hour shots.
Yeah.
If they have it in a good spot, they're going to beat the goalies.
It's going to go in. I mean, he played well.
We always have a goalie that like amps up his game when he plays us.
Yeah. So, all right, good enough. Tomorrow game starts at what the hell time does the game? I want to get this right. Because I screwed it up yesterday, and the game starts at 7:00 tomorrow. The live stream starts at 6. We go in the morning to pick Matthias up, so Matthias will be on the stream with us. That'll be good, and yeah, man, we just gotta come out playing harder the next game.
That's all.
We'll be all right. We'll be fine. I don't see this team, pulling that for 2, 3, 4
we
games
need,
in a
Eric?
row.
We need like a 5-1 game where, there's not even any empty nets. It's just we get fun. And the power play scores a couple of goals.
Right.
Maybe Barkov gets one, maybe Ron. We just need a game like that, like immediately.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I don't know about getting that against
complete 180 on effort, and that we're.
Yeah. No, I know.
Who do you think's in net tomorrow?
Oh, you go.
He goes back. He goes back with Bob.
I think he'll go back with Bob because Saturday we play Saturday afternoon again. So wouldn't be surprised to see Spencer on Saturday afternoon, because it just seems like that's the thing that, he gets the afternoon games. You know what I mean? And then we've got the West Coast trip coming up the following week. There's going to be some late games, a lot like late, like 10:30 starts. So that'll be fun. Matthias will be here. We'll be trying to stream, and the games will be ending at 1:00. I'm a happy man. And that's when you're going to be gone too, right?
You know where I'll be.
Yeah.
I'm going to, let's just say, be out of town next week. So I'm going to Israel to visit my daughter and my grandkids. So we're 7 hours ahead of Florida time. So it's going to be pretty wild. So let's see, if the game starts at 10:30,
and you're 7 hours ahead.
That means what?
That's like
4:00 in the morning.
5:30. Yeah, 10:30 to that's.
So 5:30. I don't know.
You'll be getting up in the morning to watch the games. You'll have to get up at like 5, and then you'll watch the game, and then you'll be ready to do the review, and my ass is gonna be asleep because it'll be 2 a.m. So it's gonna be an interesting schedule next week. I have no idea how it's all gonna play out. We're just gonna do a lot of winging it, So all right, really appreciate all the support, and I'll probably be back I'll be back. Oh, real quick for the 8 people left that are still watching, flyingfluffy.com. I got the good news a couple of days ago that it is approved for ads. So there are ads on the site. So when you all see those articles posted to the community posts, give it a read, give it a share. I really appreciate that. And all right, we'll see you again tomorrow. I'm sure I'll see you again later.
Subscribe.